And we really focus on, trying to really push the education that, domestic violence is a choice. It's a parenting choice, and those who use violence are choosing to use violence.
Welcome back to Cases and Cocktails. This is episode 46. I'm Bryan Eggleston, my beautiful wife, Janice. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
You almost forgot where we were already, huh?
It's a day. It's been a day. Let's do this. I want to introduce our guest this week, and that is Miss Lindy Hall. Lindy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. We greatly appreciate it. And Lindy, you are with Safe Alliance. Is that right?
I am. I am with Safe Alliance in the program Safe Futures at Safe Alliance.
That's fantastic. We're going to talk a little bit about that. It is Domestic Violence Month, Awareness Month this month, and we want to talk about that and all the things that SAFE can help people that are victims of family violence, and not only that are enduring it, but also the prevention that goes out there that y'all engage in, and the advocacy that y'all engage in as well. Before I do that, though, Lindy, it is Cases and Cocktails. I know you've watched the podcast. You know that means we've got to have a drink, and we've got one today. Jay, what do we have?
Fernanda made us a Guava Tequila Soda, and it's just guava jarritos and tequila.
Nice. Let's try that. Fast.
Sounds good.
It's good. Lindy, do you enjoy adult beverages?
I do enjoy adult beverages.
I know. That's kind of a cool thing, right? That's the part about being an adult. All right. What's your favorite?
My go-to is a mango margarita.
There you go.
Ooh, nice.
There you go. I can do that. There's this little restaurant my beautiful wife and I go to, and they make fresh mango agua fresca. So I think it's duplicative. But anyway, and then they add that you can buy that, and then they add the tequila. It is one of my favorite drinks. It really is.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Anything mango, but mango margaritas,
Yeah.
that's my jam too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I gotta say, I appreciate you being here today. You are with Safe Alliance. First of all, tell us a little bit what is Safe Alliance?
So Safe Alliance is a Austin-based nonprofit organization, and it serves Central Texas, supporting survivors of abuse, child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, and sex trafficking in the Central Texas area.
And how long have you been with Safe?
I have been with Safe 3.5 years, and prior to that, I was have been in the social services field around, this type of abuse and stuff.
It's Safe is there. Safe is sort of this. It's not just a safety net for people that are victims of abuse, but y'all are working to kind of help get some things advocacy out in the community there to prevent domestic violence and other types of abuse.
100%. We are really out there trying to educate what domestic violence is. When you say domestic violence, everybody has their own idea of what domestic violence is.
Yeah.
That's
And
fair.
so it encompasses a lot more than, what most people think of, physical assault or something like that. And so we are out there providing education, trying to let the community know that we are there for them. We have over 30 programs at SAFE, and we are just really wanting, people to know that we're there for them. You can call the hotline and you can, speak with an advocate who can put a safety plan together with you right then and there. And so we are also, have shelter for those who are unable to maybe find another location to remain safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do provide shelter within, our one campus and then within the community as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned something that I think is really important. You said that there's kind of a misconception or a belief that domestic violence just means physical assault. But you pointed out very astutely that it does mean other things. Can you elaborate on that for us just a little bit?
Sure. So a lot of times, most people think of physical assault when they think of domestic violence because that's something that we can see, you
Yeah.
know, and when we can see it, we have a tendency to believe it more.
Yeah.
And so when you've got, maybe some manipulation going on, intimidation, coercive control, and different things, those are a little bit harder to prove. And so, but those are all tactics to control an intimate partner or another person. And so those are things that we provide that education, to the public, professionals, to let them know that these are different things that go on in these types of relationships.
Fantastic. That's really important. Thank you.
The SAFE itself. First of all, it's someone that needs to contact SAFE. How can they do that? Let's start there.
There's a couple different ways. You can go online to safeaustin.org, and you can reach out there. There's a chat there too. And we also have a hotline number, which is 1-800-799-7233.
1-800-799-7283.
No, 7233.
7233. That's fantastic. If they need, and is that 24 hours?
24 hours.
And when someone calls, what should they expect?
I shouldn't say unfortunately. What happens is you're going to reach an advocate and they're going to start to ask you some questions and they're going to complete an assessment with you.
Okay.
And those who have been in abusive relationships tend to normalize the behavior. And so a lot of times it's good to maybe call with someone who can help fill in some of the answers to the assessment questions.
Yeah.
Because it's that's been their life. And so it's normalized. And so they maybe don't answer it. Not to be, give wrong intent or anything. They just
Sure.
aren't thinking that it applies to
Right.
them or anything like
Right.
that at that time. But they will do an assessment with them. They'll see what types of services are needed. And then that advocate can either put them, maybe on a wait list for shelter if there's no room, or refer them out to the program that advocate feels could best support them.
You had mentioned earlier too that in that call, that advocate there, they can help them come up with a safety plan. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
To explain to everyone sort of what that entails.
So a safety plan is a personalized plan for that individual on how to help them ensure when, this incident happens or when something happens, they know what to do. And so it's something for them to follow to ensure that they can try, to help keep them safe and their children safe. And it just breaks down, these different steps that someone should take to keep them safe.
Yeah. And that safety plan, that's a safety plan that's sort of formalized and created for that particular individual. Is that right?
100% for that particular individual.
And this,
because those individuals know what's best
for
to
them.
keep them safe.
Yeah. And this is a different, I think you and I were talking before we got on, you've got a background, you worked for the Department of Family Protective Services, and we deal with that department as well. And they're overworked and under-resourced by landslides, but they do safety plans. That's a different type of safety plan though, right? This is more of a safety plan to help individuals escape or remove themselves and keep themselves safe in the event of domestic violence. Is that right?
100%.
Perfect.
They are two different safety plans, and unfortunately, that's the term that is used.
Yeah.
They do get confused.
Yeah. And I wanted to make that distinction because you hear these terms and sometimes you hear safety plan, it's this, it's that. Neither one of them are court orders, right? So these are neither one of them are actually orders that are going to prevent someone or order someone to not to do something or to stay away from somebody. But the safety plan that an individual will get by calling Safe Alliance is an individualized plan to keep them or their children safe in the event of future domestic violence abuse.
Or to
Correct?
flee a circumstance where they're the victims of it.
Yes, correct. So maybe, someone calls in and says, this individual has been coming to my house and, they're wanting to access the children and they're causing a huge disturbance at the front door. And so what we may do is, okay, if kids are of age, maybe some of those kids participate in the safety plan by taking the younger kids to a back room and calling 911 or something like that. So it just varies depending on the situation.
That's a fabulous resource for people to have.
Now, first of all, SAFE stands for Stop Abuse for Everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And there at Safe Alliance, y'all have got kind of four different overviews of kind of what y'all provide to the community. And the first one, and you talked about this, is shelter and housing, right? So someone needs a place to stay temporarily and that sort of stuff. Tell me a little bit about that.
So we have our family shelter, and then we have some other shelters located within the community. We actually just opened up another one this last month, which we're really excited about.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. But yes, it is because there is such a need for, it's an unfortunate need, but there's such a need for shelter that we have been able to open up this other one and hopefully, fingers crossed, clear our wait list. But yes, so they can enter into shelter. And there's programming provided if that person is interested in programming. We have got children's services. We have got counseling and therapeutic services. We've got housing advocates that will help someone locate housing and different things like that. So it is really, we try to do wraparound services to really help set individuals who have left, maybe that's all they've ever known.
Right.
And start over again.
Tell me, what is the typical, if someone comes in and you're gonna provide some shelter for them, how long are they typically there? I know every case is different. Trust me, I get that. Right. But is there kind of an estimated time frame or that SAFE can provide that shelter?
It really just depends on the situation and that individual. A lot of times there's a 30-day review. And so every 30 days they're reviewing, each case and what's going on in it and different things like that. So there can be extensions made if necessary and stuff. So you're not always going to have this hard line of at 30 days you're out. It just really depends on what's going on.
That's fair. And again, if they want to contact SAFE, it's safealliance.org, right?
No, safeaustin.org.
I'm so sorry, safeaustin.org. And then the phone number, the hotline, if you are a victim of family violence or something's going on, you need to talk to someone immediately, 1-800-799-7933.
7233.
I screwed it all up. I'm terrible with numbers. What am I going to do? What's the number?
Okay, one more time.
Yeah,
Let her say it.
Lindy, you do it.
799-7233.
There you go.
Thank you, Lindy. So we've got housing is one of the things that Safe Alliance offers. What else do we have?
And part of that, so you also have the community services, right? And these community services are sort of support, obviously, for not just the individual, but the whole family, if they are from all the way adults all the way down to kids. They've got counseling and they've got legal services, right?
Yes, we have legal services. We have peer support. We have a CARES team with who help support those who have been trafficked. a lot of the individuals who work at SAFE have actual lived experience. And so there's just a number of programs. We have also disability services, for those who have been abused and have, suffer from a disability or something. So
Mhm.
yeah.
That's fantastic. And you particularly are involved with a program called Safe Futures. Is that right?
Yes, it's an amazing
Yeah.
program.
Tell us a little bit about Safe Futures.
So Safe Futures is a program that supports survivors at any time of their life with an open CPS case.
Okay.
And so we will meet them wherever they are in their case. If it's maybe, hey, I got a call from an investigator, they want to come out or they showed up, we have an advocate who can respond to that type of scenario and
Mm-hmm.
be in the home with them and maybe help complete a safety plan that is helping keep their children and themselves safe before maybe CPS has to implement their own safety plan.
That's fair.
And so our whole goal is to prevent kids from being placed out of the home or placed away from the non-offending parent.
Yeah.
And so we'll go to court with them. We'll help break down, you know, the jargon that CPS uses so, a parent can understand. We provide community classes, domestic violence education and protective parenting. It is open to the public. You do need to be referred, but somebody, if they're looking for that, can call the hotline and ask for classes, and they'll be referred to us. We also do education. We provide CLEs for how to partner with survivors and help support them. We have provided many trainings to, the judges here in Travis County, professionals, CPS, CASA, you name it. We're
You're
willing
in.
to put something together to educate.
There's a lot of humans involved in that, isn't there?
Yes.
The one of the other pieces that you there at Safe y'all do is prevention and education. Y'all have got life skills and parenting skills, and that's sort of what you're talking about with that protective parenting, correct?
So yes, so the protective parenting is more of a series of classes that, you know, educate parents on maybe what grooming behaviors are or what to look for and how to protect their kids and what happens when, children have been traumatized and those effects and stuff. And we'll talk about intergenerational trauma and how it's passed on just to really help parents understand that, you know, the negative effect that domestic violence has on kids.
Yeah, it's
And
rough. It's extremely rough and difficult for the children. And when you're a parent and you've got you're a victim of family violence and your children are witnessing that, it's really difficult. And Janice always talks about taking care of yourself so you can take care of others, and that's sort of what you have to do as a victim and survivor of domestic violence is try to take care of yourself so you can take care of your kids.
Absolutely.
right. And we really focus on, trying to really push the education that, domestic violence is a choice. It's a parenting choice, and those who use violence are choosing to use violence. And so we really try to help educate on how to make that connection so somebody can see, how to change that behavior because children are weaponized all the time, in these types of cases.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see that regularly.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. The advocacy part of this, as you talked about through Safe Futures, you're going and you're helping adults as well as children kind of
hmm
navigate what we oftentimes call the CPS process or CPS court. Tell me, when you're doing that, or excuse me, when someone's going through that, what can they expect from you? You're obviously going to be there to help, right, and go to court and do those things. What else can they expect?
They can expect to, our program is set around setting goals. And so we meet an individual where they are. We're not going to be the ones to, say, you need to do this, this, and this. We're going to help, build autonomy and help this person realize what they need to do or what they want to do, not even what they need. What do they want to
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
And sometimes it may be, I'm not ready to be a parent. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
so we work through that.
Right.
But they can expect, minimum monthly check-ins. But I mean, we're all so passionate about our job. You probably get a text weekly.
Sure.
Um,
That's fair.
um, and we do a lot of virtual visits. But if someone's asking, for education or therapy referrals or just having a hard time navigating the system and contacting their worker, we help bridge that gap.
Yeah. Do
And
you
so
there at Safe do y'all have a space where y'all can help facilitate supervised visitation?
we do, we
Fantastic.
do.
They do
Well,
it all.
yes,
Yeah.
there's two caveats to that. We have Planet Safe, which is another program, and in order to qualify there, it has to be a court ordered,
Okay.
service. But through our program at Safe Futures, if we have been working with an individual who um, is doing everything that they need to and is wanting to increase visitation, and the children's attorneys, everybody's on board for that,
Mm-hmm.
then we can provide extra visitation for them.
Okay.
And so we will help facilitate transportation. Everybody, we will supervise and provide notes to everyone about how the visits are going and stuff. And we also have an advocate who is at the Travis County Courthouse probably 3 or 4 days out of the week,
Okay.
and listening for cases that, she feels that we might be, a benefit for, one of the parents.
I think it's important to note something you said earlier about meeting everyone where they are. I think that probably helps people feel safe to come to Safe, so that they understand they're not going to be told what they have to do in these circumstances. You guys are trained and educated so well that you understand that hard push will sometimes make people run away or even prevent them from coming to you to begin with. So I think that's something huge. That way they feel comfortable coming and talking to you, talking about the plan, because usually the first time a victim comes and has this conversation isn't the time that they escape. It often takes numerous times and more education and more information. So the fact that you guys are so kind and compassionate is great. I know that we've had plenty of clients use y'all's services, and we thank you for that.
Well, thank you for referring, because, you know, I'll be honest, I had my own mindset when I was, a baby fish in the field, and you know
Right.
what I mean, didn't
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
understand it. And so, um, and it wasn't until I came to Safe where I fully understood, you know, how difficult it is to leave, because, sometimes, there's just maybe not room at the shelter right then and there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
Right.
we've got to come up with an alternative. And so we do a professional class that has an activity called In Her Shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really been beneficial to the community.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So you basically, I will facilitate this activity, and you take it on a character card, and you move through a number of stations throughout the room, and you choose, based off of the scenario that you're given, where you're
Right.
going to go, what you're going to do. And so many people see how, the systems aren't always set up to be helpful,
Right.
you
Absolutely.
know.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times we get, I'm in this loop and I can't get out of this loop, nobody helps me or this or that. And so it's been really an eye-opening experience to everyone who has participated in it.
I could see that being really helpful to someone that maybe gets in the habit of victim blaming, right? We'll go
Mhm.
in and
Yes,
walk in her shoes for
100%.
a bit and see what that looks like. And you can quickly and easily, I think, recognize that a lot of the choices have been taken away.
Yes. And so if, there's professionals out there who are interested in, having us come out and provide a training, they can reach out as well to the 1-800 number, or even just email, go onto the website and email our community ed director, and we can go out there and provide that education.
That is fantastic. You know, I, y'all provide so many services and so much, not just services, but education and support for the community. Tell me, can people donate to SAFE? How can other people volunteer or help?
We would love donations.
Fair, fair.
um, Both, time wise or monetary, or even, items that you're getting rid of. We accept donations. We have a warehouse on campus where, I mean, we're rebuilding people's lives. And so
Yeah,
they will move into an apartment and we are helping them refurnish everything.
yeah.
That's good to
And
know.
so we will take any donations, hygiene items, you name it, we'll take it and we'll figure out, can we use it? Can we not? And if not, we've partnered with another agency where they will take those donations and then they give us gift cards where
Hmm.
they can shop for things maybe we don't have at the warehouse.
That's fantastic. If someone wants to volunteer or donate, how do they do that?
You can go onto the website, www.safeaustin.org, and there is a tab for volunteering, and you can reach out and then we will get back to you. And then donation wise,
Hmm.
if you are looking to like donate items, you can donate Monday through Friday, typically from 10 to about 3 p.m. at 1515 Grove Boulevard.
And that's there in Austin.
Hmm.
1515 Grove Boulevard there in Austin. I gotta say this. It seems to me, anyways, that you are absolutely made for this. You are extremely passionate about this. Tell me, what's your best memory or best sort of story, right? That you helped or that you got to be involved in since you've been with Safe.
Oh, you're giving me chills actually,
Good,
because we
good.
have, we really, our program is amazing. We have success stories all the time. I have helped, my my saying is when I'm reaching out to someone and I'm introducing myself, I'm saying my job or our program is about maintaining or regaining custody of your children.
Hmm.
And so we are really all about that. But the best one I have, um, actually worked with an individual who had their child removed, had regained custody, case was closed, and just because of some of, her disabilities and different things, just in interactions with law enforcement in the past, was just kind of was pulled over one day and was had an interaction with law enforcement and was accused of being under the influence.
Hmm.
And so basically what had happened was, it was re-traumatizing to her. You
Yeah,
know
Right.
what I mean? And
yeah.
so she had, the fight, flight, freeze response and fawn and everything. And unfortunately, their child was removed.
Uh
And
huh.
so they reached out to us and we helped. And um, we work to, have them go through the necessary steps to regain custody of
Mm,
their child.
yeah,
And now they're doing great. And we've got a good support system put in place to ensure that when things happen, they know who to reach out
yeah,
to in different things.
yeah.
And so that's just one of many.
Many,
I
yeah.
mean, we have successes all the time, and we've got to celebrate those successes in the field that we're in. So,
Of course you do. It's fantastic. Just real fast, last time it's austinsafe.org, right? And I'm going to get it right this time, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's Safe Austin.
Oh, man, I screwed it up. Screwed it up so bad. That's so bad. That's so, come on, Josh.
Lindy,
All right.
tell us the website and phone
There you
number.
go.
Yes, www.safeaustin.org. And the phone number is 1-800-799-7233.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, which is extremely important. We know the work that goes into where you are because of how much you guys have helped our clients. So thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing everything today.
Yes, thank you for having us. I'm just ecstatic to get, our program and Safe out there because it's amazing how many people really don't know that we're there.
Exactly.
Yep, I
That's
agree.
exactly right.
I love how you light up when you talk about it. You can see it in your
Yeah.
eyes.
know.
It's
Yes,
wonderful.
no, I'm very passionate. We'll be out in a couple of the communities, our program for National Night Out next week. So
Yeah.
we're really excited about
Good.
that.
Good. Enjoy it. Enjoy National Night Out, and thank you again for being on with us. Guys, thank y'all for joining us in this episode of Cases and Cocktails, and stay tuned for more episodes next week.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next Friday.